Hi, hello, good evening. My name is Kelly, and I am here to talk to you about food insecurities. Gandhi once said there are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread. When we think about hunger, we think about far off lands and starving children, and we see them in commercials. My parents used to tell me, eat your dinner because there's starving children in Africa. Yes, there are, but there are also starving children here in the United States and worldwide. Hunger has no preference. She has no preference to sex, religion, race, creed, anything. She sneaks into your home, into your neighborhood, into your family, and she takes things from you. Imagine being the parents of a child in the time when you send them to school and you hope that that they can get fed at school today. 17 million households in the US were considered to be food insecure, which means 1 in 6 people in America do not have enough food. I, as a nurse, view hunger and food scarcity as a public health issue. And when I volunteer at the soup kitchens, I find that people come to me and say how ashamed they are that they are in the position that they are. 1 in 5 children go to bed hungry every single night. 1 in 4 military families rely on food banks in order to feed their children. And 870 million people in the world go to bed hungry every night. Hunger, according to the World Health Organization, is the #1 risk for killing people under 5 years of age. Hunger-related diseases have killed more people than AIDS, malaria, and TB combined. 1 child under the age of 5 years old dies every 15 seconds. So that would mean that more people have died in the last 4 months from hunger-related deaths than they have from COVID. And yet, we no longer hear about that. You cannot tell your child when you feed them today that I fed you yesterday and worry about whether you will have food again for them tomorrow. What are the differences between the definitions? Food security is defined as access by all people at all times to maintain an active, healthy lifestyle. Food insecurity is defined as the absence of food security at a household level. Unfortunately, more and more families are losing their jobs, and they're having to choose between homes and food. And now, because we are also having an unprecedented job loss in the United States due to COVID and lockdowns, we are also going to have more and more poverty that is coming around. Hunger is defined as the uneasy, painful sensation caused by the lack of food. And hunger practiced on a regular basis is becoming more and more prevalent in the United States, and this is considered food insecurity. Hunger is the single biggest solvable problem in the world today. Availability, there are 4 dimensions of food security. So availability occurs when there is a lack of food or lack of resources. We are having more food items and food-related diseases and more hunger-related diseases than there have been since the Great Depression. Accessibility is when there is no access to the food. You do not have a way to get it. Accessibility for children is particularly devastating, especially when they are used to getting food at school, and now you release them from school for the summer, or like COVID, they're not able to go to the school. And when you're hungry, you have no energy to do anything. Circumstances can change for anyone. So we never know what's happening in the world. Utilization is no proper utilization of food and then poor nutrients. Instability is any change in availability, accessibility, or utilization can disrupt stability of your food securities. If a parent loses a job, they lose their home, floods take over, earthquakes. This displaces people and then they become refugees in other areas. This is not always due to someone's choices that they have made. As the economy worsens, poverty is going to continue to increase, and we're going to see more and more of these people who are hungry. We as Americans can help solve some of these problems, although we can't solve all of them, but we can certainly solve some of them. How, you say? I'm only one person. I'm glad you asked. Food pantries need donations today more than ever. Food rescue organizations, if you could donate food to those or talk to a farmer, if they, instead of killing their livestock and burying it out in the field, if we could have them process that food and donate it to food banks, food that is being out in the fields because things are being shut down and they're not a processing plant. If you could volunteer to go out and help pick some of that food and bring it into some of the shelters, you could save a life. Be a community activist. Grow food. Help those that are around you. Donate to the backpack programs at the schools, or go help pack the bags at the schools so that these children can take food home for the weekend. In the United States, 1 of 8 U.S. households are food insecure. And again, that is 1 in 5 children in America. How many children live on your block? Be aware that hunger can happen to anyone at any time. Food insecurity is at its highest since the Great Depression. Again, we are all in this together. So if you cannot feed 100 people, try to feed at least 1. Thank you. I just want to say special thanks to Omaha Artists Against Hunger for helping me get some photos. Michelle Mullen, who is an Omaha 3rd grade teacher who helps with the backpack program, and all the staff that fill the backpacks, Salvation Army food servers, Marceline Miguel and Lana, and the Faircylon Studios for the royalty-free background music. And my references. Thank you. Have a good day.